the right minute. Okay, so Jesse link, he's asking for the link. Okay, okay, তাহলে আমি ওকে বলছি ওখানে আছে. Okay. So Jesse link, he's asking for the link. Okay, okay, তাহলে আমি ওকে বলছি ওখানে আছে.
Last time তো ওই হচ্ছিল, that time হচ্ছিল.
Oh, Jesse entered. Admit.
How are you?
We're nearly set. There was another meeting going, so we are gonna give me like 1 minute. Let me just. We will run a few minutes late because we. There was another meeting going, so we are gonna give me like 1 minute. Let me just. We will run a few minutes late. Okay. Okay, Jesse, we will start. Hi, Shahid. Why is a lag? Oh, that. Oh, what a quiet.
Hi, Pia. লাইটটা একটু মানে বেশি হয়ে গেছে, একটু বেশি ব্রাইট লাগছে.
Okay.
ये वाला ऑफ कर दो.
Hi, Pia.
Hi.
লাইটটা একটু মানে বেশি হয়ে গেছে, একটু বেশি ব্রাইট লাগছে.
अच्छा that light. अच्छा सुपर. No, not my dark. For the white lights. Is it better?
Yeah. It's a bomb over there.
Is it better?
Yeah.
No, let's put the light on.
No.
Yeah, just put.
Hi. Okay. Okay, Jesse, are we set?
I'm good.
Hi, Jesse. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm super excited to have you with me. Sorry, just. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Yeah, better. Oh, much better. Okay, so we are sorry about the technical issues. So we are going to start now. So we are today covering Scotland with Jesse, who's our guest of the week. Jesse is a member of PhirSe. Jesse, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to us, please.
Hi guys. My nickname is Jesse. My full name is Jaspreet Singh Aujla, and I've made a lot of really cool friends here in the PhirSe group. And
We are today covering Scotland.
oh,
Who's our guest of the week. Jesse is a member of PhirSe. Jesse, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, please.
hi guys, my nickname is Jesse. My full name is Jaspreet Singh Ojla, and I've made a lot of really cool friends here in the PhirSe group. And
We are today covering Scotland.
oh,
Who's our guest of the week. Jesse is a member of PhirSe. So, Jesse, when did you go to Scotland?
oh, so I went to Scotland 7-8 years ago, and I'd gone to London, and I took a train from there to Edinburgh.
So, what did you like about Scotland?
There were many things. I mean, the natural beauty around, at least the Edinburgh area, was amazing. The history, something you get when you go to UK. History has such a huge impact on you. The fact that Scotland and England, like many, for hundreds and hundreds of years, they were fighting with each other, and today they're part of the same country. A lot of their language is the same English, but the way they speak it, the Edinburgh area was amazing. The history, something you get when you go to UK. History has such a huge impact on you. The fact that Scotland and England, like many, for hundreds and hundreds of years, they were fighting with each other, and today they're part of the same country. A lot of their language is the same English, but the way they speak it, Edinburgh area was amazing. The history, something you get when you go to UK. History is such a huge impact.
So Jesse, so I took the train too to Scotland, and it was really interesting, actually, train ride, because there was no AC and it was super hot. So I remember, baking in the 5-hour journey. But I think Scotland is just magical. And there is actually, they believe in witches and warlocks and magic. It's a very old culture, as you know, and they have their own language, which is Gaelic. And so you were telling me something about William Wallace. So you want to talk a little bit about what you learned about Braveheart?
Right. So one of my all-time favorite movies is this movie called Braveheart with Mel Gibson, and he plays the role of William Wallace, who was a war hero from freedom fighter, actually, from 1200 somethings. And I mean, when I saw that movie, I didn't know all this stuff, right? But when I went to Scotland, I saw that William Wallace, there's a 1,000-year-old castle in Edinburgh, and his statue is outside over there. And he truly was a hero for his people. So that just gave more relevance to, I'm like, okay, that was one of my most favorite movies. And now I'm at either the birthplace or the place where he existed and did all the fighting. And he was fighting the English, interestingly, at the time.
So, Jesse, you sent me some of your pictures, and I have created this slideshow that I would love to share with our audience. So let me share my screen, and we can share some of yours and my pictures in Scotland. So this is some of our pictures. Can you see?
I can see them.
Okay, perfect. So Jesse, care to explain where you are?
Yes. So in Edinburgh, there's this place called the Royal Mile. It's 1 mile that leads up to the castle, which is a 1,000-year-old castle, outside which they had the William Wallace statue. So the first photograph is I'm sitting outside that castle, I believe, and there you see the old city, Edinburgh, in the back. The second picture on the right hand side, or my right hand side, I guess, on the screen, on the right side, is the Royal Mile, which is behind me. Like it's kind of gradient, so you kind of walk up all the way about a mile of this road, and you get to that castle. So
So
that's
one, trivia that I have about the Royal Mile is, if you notice the buildings, they have these little, poles. The reason they have those are very old, and the reason they have those, and this was told to me by a friend. This is, shout out to Nishant Sharma. Thank you. We had such a wonderful time. So the poles that jut out of the buildings are actually, they were used to hang people who were named as witches. So it has a very gory history, as as we discussed, remember, Jesse? So, sorry, I did have to bring that up. Okay, this is the tavern you went to, right?
yes. So this, if you look at the established in 1680, 1680, and literally, I mean, obviously, I'm sure they've repainted and a bunch of other things, but this existed in 1680. That's like, to me, that's mind-boggling. That's just, when we talk about 1680, we think like, oh my God, this is like some old historic times. And this thing existed over here. It's a very small little bar. So that's why I had to get my photograph taken in front of it to show that I was outside this place, which was such an old bar.
It's amazing. I love that bars. In fact, the next pictures are a couple of bars that I went to, and this was soup of the day whiskey with ice croutons. I thought that that was really, saw that and clicked a picture. And I went to this pub called Greyfriars Bobby. One of the things that I really, really enjoyed in Scotland is, there's so this was a pub, and the Greyfriars Bobby is a dog, a Yorkie, and apparently. For every day till the day he died, and that was so that's the pub we went to, and the rest of England is sort of rules and regulations and uptight. You and I felt that they are very Jesse?
Yes. Oh, so your voice is getting cut on the Zoom. Sorry. So this photograph at the bottom is literally, and this is the William Wallace. He's it's the statue of the guy that Mel Gibson played in that movie Braveheart. So again, I had to get a photograph taken in front of that statue. And the second photograph is the same thing. It's on the Royal Mile with the city behind me of the city of Edinburgh.
Right. So this is one of the bridges that takes you into Edinburgh. It's beautiful. Another thing, there's a lot of literature, lot of books that a lot of us have read that are based in Scotland, or I'm sure you've heard of Harry Potter. Harry Potter was written by classroom at the Elephant House, and J.K. Rowling with the magic of my, assistant I have today, Chandana. Hi, Chandana.
Hi.
So, J.K. Rowling it is. So that's her house. She wrote that book in, and this is the bathroom from that cafe where people from all over the world go and scribble their. Jesse, can you hear me?
So on the Zoom, you're in and out on the Zoom, but I'm sure on YouTube you're okay. Sorry, did you ask me a question?
Yeah. Did you get to see the Scottish Highlands?
Yes, only on the training, because I didn't rent a car and drive around much. So I was there for 2 nights and 1 day, and that day was spent on the Royal Mile and exploring the castle and everything, which is huge, right? As you know.
Yeah, it is. It is, and there's many more cities. There's Aberdeen, Glasgow, all part of Scotland, and I do hope to go back there. These next series of pictures are, of course, whiskey tasting. I went whiskey tasting, and Jesse, you were telling me about what you learned about whiskey. You wanna share?
Yes. So basically, I mean, obviously, everybody knows about Scotch, comes from Scotland. But one thing I learned there is there are 5 different areas of Scotland, and the Scotch that comes from each area tastes differently. So when you take the whiskey tour, rather than the process of making whiskey from barley and all the stuff that you see, they actually make you taste the 5 different whiskeys, Scotch, from different parts, and you have to drink them neat a little bit, because that's when you're gonna taste it, right? And yeah, I could tell the difference. And just the soil of that small area. Scotland is not a huge country. I mean, that's the size of like India or US,
Yeah,
right?
much better.
But that the fact that the soil can make the taste so much different was an amazing thing to know.
So next picture is of Roslyn Chapel, which I'm a big Da Vinci Code fan, so I made it a point to go to that church. If you have read the book Da Vinci Code, you would know that actually in the story, and it is a beautiful, beautiful church. If any of you are in Edinburgh, it is about 20 minutes from Edinburgh. But that the chapel is just beautiful. They don't allow photography inside, but I really, recommend it. In various places in Edinburgh. Last but not the least, Jesse, you know that we, you are Army brat too, right? So am I. And the Scottish have a very proud military history. So I did get to go see the army, the military museum in the castle, and my father belongs to the Gorkha from Nepal, and I found this Gorkha hat, and the bagpipers in the Indian Army. Jesse, have you ever been to one of those functions where you have all these people, all the Indian soldiers with bagpipes?
Yes. Growing up in the army,
Yes.
His dad was in the army. I was, but I remember. I think many different regiments have this, right?
Yeah. So, and it is something that the Indian Army has learned from the British. As you know, the Indian Army about, 100 years back. So, but not the least, this is my daughter in the Scottish Highlands. With she goes to University of California, Riverside. There, they have the theme for the college is Scotland. Is sort of a take on my take on Scottish food. So we are doing Scotch eggs. We are doing there, and you talked about haggis and the black pudding.
Yeah, so black pudding I didn't have. I had haggis. It's a breakfast thing. It's made of certain animal parts I don't even know. But after I had it, I realized maybe I shouldn't have had it. But it tasted just like chicken.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Brave. I didn't have the, I was not that brave. I didn't try it because it looked scary.
So.
But one of the things that I did try was the Scotch eggs, and I'm going to do like a healthier version of the Scotch eggs. So in front of you, I have some of the ingredients we need to make the Scotch eggs, and I'm going to make this really healthy because we are going to air fry this. Because this recipe usually calls for deep frying, and I'm going to make sure that we are making it a little healthier. I did try it. It tasted amazing. So, before I begin, I've boiled this egg. Now, if you want to be, very particular, to get a semi-boiled egg, I would put, I would boil it for 6 minutes and then take it off. I didn't do it today. Boiled egg, and I have some ground chicken. Typically they use ground lamb, but I just didn't. I wanted to keep it lighter and keep it healthier. So I some pepper, and if you know me, you know how much I love sriracha. So to give it that little kick, I'm going to add a little bit of, this is a chili garlic sauce. Meat mixture. There should be like an egg. Once I have it evenly with the meat, I am going to dip this into flour. Once I have coated it with flour, I'm going to put it in an egg wash. I'm going to coat it with the egg. Sorry, this isn't very pretty, but
it's going to taste.
and finally,
it's done.
yeah, it doesn't look very appetizing right now. Finally, I will coat it with a, I think you just go back a little bit, back here, and then in breadcrumbs. I've mixed panko breadcrumbs and normal breadcrumbs. Once we are done with that, sorry, I have to wash my hands. So I'm going to move my webcam to show you. This is, this is the result. I added my air fryer. So this was pre-cooked. I'm going to take these out and so add that on my air fryer and spray it with a little oil. Pop it into the air fryer. And through the magic of our show, I will show you what the end product looks like. Typically, this would be deep fried. If you're health conscious, Jesse, this is the way to go.
Oh my God, that looks really good, because the fact that you have the chicken stuff and crumbs around it and the egg in the middle, it's like a meal in itself, right?
Oh, this, sadly, because of COVID, we can't visit each other's homes, but I promise you, this is delicious. Okay. So that was our Scotch egg. The next recipe I'm doing is the, we're doing the vegan,
Shepherd's
pie. And this one, I have to give you, the restaurant, the pub I talked about, the Greyfriars Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
This I had at the Greyfriars Bobby. I was not very, sure what that would taste like. Think about shepherd's pie. But I have to say that it tasted really good. So the ingredients for my vegan shepherd's pie are use Hindi, masoor ki dal, right? So this is the this is basically whole masoor ki dal, and then I'm using onions, cilantro, carrots, and usually I buy this Trader Joe's. It comes all mixed in. So it's not much. and my magic sriracha sauce. I put that in everything. So we are now ready to get this done. So I'm going to move my webcam to show you. So the pan is hot and I'm going to add some oil. Okay, there you go. Next, I'm going to add in my onions and cilantro, onions, celery, and carrots, and cook that down. And this will take a lot of time, so I am just going to, I already have something prepared, and this is just for the demo. So just know that, this needs to cook down. Next, we add our carrots. Maybe a little more oil. That are pre-boiled. I boil them. Actually, you could buy the lentils and boil them. I like shortcuts, so I bought this at Trader Joe's.
Very nice, very nice.
So this is pre-boiled lentils that you get at Trader Joe's. I thought that was pretty. And we cook this. Once this is done, it will so I added more vegetables to it, but that is pretty much all you need to do. This is a very simple recipe. Doesn't require so we're just going to add and I made a mistake. I should have oiled the pan, but I didn't, which is squish this in. And on top of that, I'm going to add in my sweet potatoes that, I spiced and boiled. When it's covered, actually, I'm, make these for about, on 350 for about 20 minutes. And once it's ready, it is going to look something like this.
That looks so good. And
while I'm not showing you the recipe for this one, we are going to use a whiskey sauce that I made on top of this. So that was our vegan shepherd's pie. You have to take my word for it. It really does. It really
Yeah, plus I think it's so much healthier than a meat pie, right?
Yeah, this is, it's healthy, it's light. So the last is a very simple leek and potato soup. Which it actually is, anything potato, I love potatoes. In fact, so anything with potato tastes really yummy. So for this, the ingredients are very easy, simple. I have here some leeks that I chopped and a boiled potato. And I'm going to add some oil to and sorry everyone, like I really wanted to, in the past when I cook, you really can't see much. I wanted to make sure that everyone can see the cooking clearly, so I changed my setup a little bit. That had, that made me look, it's a little bit of an adjustment, but hey, we're trying. I'm gonna add the leeks in, and leeks you can get in, again, Trader Joe's has them. As you know, I love Trader Joe's, and I love sriracha sauce. Those are the two big loves of my life. So we are going to start cooking the leeks. And while the leeks cook, I have this boiled potato that I'm going to cut into pieces. And because we don't want to waste too much time, add this to my pan, and we're going to sort of saute this down. Once it starts cooking a little bit, I will add some paprika. Some pepper. And thyme. Jesse, you think you can cook these?
Sure, probably not. But
they're easy enough, right? I mean, they're not very difficult to make.
Yeah, it does seem, the way you're showing it seems like a pretty straightforward process, right?
So hopefully, we can have you on as our cooking demo guest. I'm going to add some water to this. Of course, we are going to add salt. And we're going to cook this. And So this will now cook for about another 15-20 minutes, but because and I added, can you see that?
Yes, yes. And did you add some cream or something at the top? Why is it like white in the? Is this just the potatoes?
So there's cream in it, and I'm going to put some croutons. Like croutons are bread that has been toasted. So I added some croutons. I added some croutons to the. So that was our leek and potato soup.
That was very nice. Pia, what I liked about in every dish, you try to make it healthier version of it, which is great.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That's awesome. But I could tell
since
the taste is still not being compromised. Like the vegetarian chef.
yes.
Right? I mean,
and we have we have my friend Chandana who's here, and she will taste and tell us what it tastes like.
Oh yes, I will.
So
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
So now for the dessert, because we had all healthy meal today, we earned ourselves a dessert, and this is that I have. That I'm going to use a hand blender and make it a mousse. It's heavy cream, and I have so I am in the whiskey ice cream that I sort of melted and added to the cream. This is heavy cream, and we are going to blend it. It makes a mess. Till it sort of becomes a mousse consistency. This is some oatmeal that I toasted. If you can see the oatmeal, this is oatmeal, regular oatmeal that I toasted before. Then I used some raspberries and sort of made a puree. Now for assembling our cranigan.
What is the puree made of? What is it?
It's raspberry.
Okay.
So I took some raspberries and ran it through my mixer.
Okay.
And strained it. So, I mean, you can strain it if you don't want the seeds. But if you, that it just tastes much better. So, some of my And this actually, to my TV
Nice.
or Zoom in this case, this is what it looks like. I kept it in the fridge for about half an hour. So
Very nice.
So this is what it looks like. So this is our dessert. So that was our Scottish edition of the Foodie show. I'd love to show you the final plated version of what we did today. Just a second. It's kind of. Can you see that? This is what we cooked today.
That looks so good.
Yes, and Jesse, while you are at your home, I'm going to do some cheers with you. I have some really nice single malt from Scotland that my friend got for me. So I hope on your end you have something to drink.
Yes, yes.
Well, I'll drink for you too. So thank you everyone for joining. And thanks for being our guest for today, Jesse.
Oh, most welcome. I just wish I could eat some of the good food that
Yes. Well, once our COVID situation is over, which someday it will, we hope to sort of have all our PhirSe friends over and do a potluck. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. It's not letting me.